team, welcome back to our podcast.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, beautiful people, dream team? Welcome to another exciting podcast of Here's a Thought with the Max. My name is Lerato Mageta.
And I am Petola Mageta.
The episode beautiful, you know what it is.
Oh, thank you, my angel.
Yes.
Thank you, my love. Guys, if you're wondering, these are our sign names. We normally have a South African Sign Language interpreter, and we are going to get Calvin back.
Yes.
We've just been really busy trying to figure out certain things, but we are going to get Calvin back. Thank you so much for the love that you showed the previous video. We hadn't
was a jump.
We hadn't done challenges in a while.
And it was fun.
It was fun. It was
it was good fun.
So much fun. So, guys, today's conversation, the reason I wanted my hubby and I to have this conversation is because, guys, I get a lot of DMs from, I would imagine, younger women and asking me for advice on dating. And 9 out of 10 times, I just want to respond and say, girl, run.
He's just not that into you.
He's just not that into you.
Yeah.
But I need to have the sensitivity, right, to understand that I don't know these people personally, and I don't know what informs people's decisions. You know, if you know people, then maybe you might be able to give an informed advice. But if you don't know people, really, you're just what's the word? What's to populate?
I don't know.
Populate.
I don't know what populate is.
You're just, it's like you're feeling. You're guessing.
Yeah. That was a guess.
But there's another word that I was looking for, a nicer word. But anyway, you're just speculating. Right.
Sorry, I couldn't be there for you.
For speculation.
Yeah.
Right? And I thought, babe, let's have a conversation about this. Right? 10 signs that he's not that into you, because I think a lot of people, like in dating, they're wondering, does he like me? Does he not like me?
Yeah.
But I think there is that general rule, unwritten rules,
for sure,
as to when someone is into you and when someone is not into you.
Yeah, I'm the first to say that, you know, in 2022, the dating scene is so hectic, man. I couldn't imagine myself dating in this season because, I mean, when we were younger, you were either dating or you were not, right? It was like, we're either together or we're not. Today, you're either talking or you're vibing or you're dating, but dating doesn't necessarily mean that you're together. It means that I'm dating people, you know, to kind of see, and then
or like we're just hanging out.
Yeah, we're hanging out, or we're friends with benefits, or you know what I'm saying? Like it's just a lot, man. So you know, I think it's important for us to have conversations like this. Maybe just to, you know, how I like to say that sometimes we complicate the gospel. Like I feel like we complicate relationships when they needn't be complicated. And hopefully we're just gonna simplify a couple of things for a lot, because we know that there are a lot of single people that watch our channel, right?
Yes.
And it's not to say like it's not a how-to guide, right?
No.
But it's more like, here's some perspective. You know, here's something to think about.
Yeah.
So
guys, he never contacts you first. So I have an experience when I was a bit younger. I met this guy and I thought, you know, the first time we met, we were like really vibing, we were cool. And he took my number, right? Sure. And then this person didn't call me for like, I think it was 2 weeks or so. Baby, we had those landlines. Every time the phone would ring, guys, it was like Tiban. No one was supposed to answer the phone. Is it him? Can you imagine the anxiety?
I can.
And I found that was really the foundation of, eventually we started dating, right? And I found that it was the foundation of our relationship. So the foundation was really crooked. It wasn't solid. And even in dating, this person would do the same thing. They would not call in a month. And then they would come back, babe, a month later. Oh, I was so busy. And I would just welcome them back with open arms. You know? So I think that's a very big red flag. Yeah.
So I've got two things to say to that. The first thing is that I'm an old school thinker, guys. I really do believe that men should be the ones that should pursue women. All right. We are the chasers. We are the ones that, you know, need to go out and hunt and be like, okay, look, this is what I want in my life, and you are who I want in my life, and I'm going to pursue you.
The
other side of it is this. men, boys, we're human beings as well. And the reality is there's sometimes an anxiety that comes with making that first call. Contrary to popular belief, right? So I could take a girl's number, and I'm a young man, and I could be dealing with guababa, guys. Do you know what I mean? Guababa is like, it's like uchil, like it's like having like cold feet, like getting cold feet, because now I'm nervous. I'm like, okay, if I call too soon, is she gonna feel like I'm a chump? You know, if I call too quickly, I'm sorry. So if I call too soon, if I wait too long, is she gonna feel like I'm? You know what I mean? And then obviously you're getting advice from your friends around you who are also young and also impressionable, and they're going, nah, dog, let her wait like 3 days. You don't want it to look like this, that, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So there's all of that you're going through, right? There's the anxiety of like, yo, I really want to get this girl, like I want for us to date, but I don't want to look like an idiot in front of her. I don't want to, because as a young man, these things are going through your mind, you know, to be like, you're thinking in your mind that this girl is going, show me, this guy called me like the same day. Oh my gosh, like how desperate is he? Right? So there are those things that men go through. However, once the girl has then said, yeah, okay, cool, I like you too, we should date, and so on and so forth, yes, then the bror, he needs to come through. Like, he needs to then be calling. He's the one that needs to be pursuing you. Don't get trapped in that thing where now, like, you're the one always calling him. You're the one always because guys know what they want at the end of the day. And if you've opened the door, he needs to walk through it.
I think what's interesting about what you're saying is that you are referring to young men, but what's interesting is that there is a young man inside every man, inside every man, right? And this could possibly be happening to people our age, where they have that guababa, where they're just like, okay, I don't know, should I, shouldn't I? You know, they might not go to their boys and ask for advice, but they might have those same insecurities that they had as young men.
100%. I was thinking right now, not right now, you know, I've thought before, I was like, okay, what would dating look like for me? Right? In 2022. Because I saw on Twitter, somebody wrote, I don't know if they said they would never date a woman with kids or without kids or whatever. Like, it was just, you know, and I thought to myself, I'm 36, guys. Like, I'm 36. So what would dating look like for me? And I was thinking to myself, how would you approach a woman as a 36-year-old man who obviously now the pressures are completely different? Like, you can't be finding yourself. You need to have your career in check. You need to whatever. Here it is. I've got 2 kids. You know what I mean? Like, guys, understand that men are human beings as well, and we do have anxieties and insecurities around approaching women.
That's very interesting. He makes you wait. So I love what you're saying, that a man should constantly... So I believe that when 2 people are dating, they should be pursuing each other.
100%.
Right? So I don't think that it
needs to be mutual.
Yeah, I don't think that it's the man's responsibility to constantly be calling you. And when are you just like, oh no, hasa phone, I'm not going to call. But I love what you're saying about, you know, in this context of, you know, men pursuing women and whatnot and the calling. There's some people that just constantly want to play hard to get. You know, you send them a text, they read it, and then they don't respond. They respond like 2 days later. I just really feel like that is childish. That is inconsiderate, because you are not considering the other person's feelings.
100%.
Right? Making me wait. Now I'm thinking, okay, what does it mean?
Am I too much?
Does he like me? Does he not like me? So I just really think that do not play games with people.
And that's the point. That's the point. I think it's the most important thing in a relationship is to be true to the person that you are.
Yes.
Don't play games, guys. Don't play games in the hope that the next person is going to see you a certain way. Because you're like, oh no, it's cool, I'll make her wait. Oh no, it's cool, no. Like, I love the idea of having such a freedom in love and a freedom in relationship that if somebody is not going to be able to take you as you are because they feel like you're too much, then you're in the wrong relationship. So if a guy is making you wait, you probably shouldn't be with that guy because he's still playing games. And I don't think that you should be in a relationship where people are trying to play games. Like be decided that, listen, if I'm ready to get into a relationship, it means that I'm ready to not play games.
And I think people that also play games, that also a huge sign of insecurity.
100%.
Because what they're also doing is that they want to see, sometimes people want to see how much you're really into them.
Yeah.
Right. So is this girl gonna wait for me if if I don't respond today? I just want to see how she's gonna respond when I come back.
And they'll never respect you.
Yeah. So it's really feeding their ego. And I think I love what you're saying, baby, that they'll never respect you. So I feel like, sometimes when I used to this guy that I was dating, then he would call me like a month later or 2 months later, and every time he came back, I would embrace them. Right. So they know, with this one, I can get away with anything.
For sure.
I can disappear for 4 months, come back and be like, yo, I was working on this project. I was busy. I was helping my mom with this. I was like, guys, no one is ever that busy.
Yeah. And you teach people how to treat you.
To reach out to someone that they're really into.
Yeah. Well, hey, one man's loss. It's another man's gain. So thank you, brother. Thank you.
He cancels on you repeatedly.
Yeah.
Sure. You want to take that one first?
Well, you're right. No person is ever that busy, and I think there's an acceptable level of canceling. Right? There's a acceptable, like, you understand, especially if you understand somebody's circumstances, right? So for instance, if you know that this person's particular job, they can call them at the drop of a hat. So say this person is a surgeon.
I was about to say, like, doctors are always on call.
Like doctors or pilots, or pilots or whatever, and it's just like, listen, drop of a hat, or a businessman, right? And they're constantly traveling and they're just like, gosh, you know what, I'm so sorry, I had to leave tonight and whatever. Communication is the biggest thing. And so a person can put time aside. Right? To say, whatever happens, I'm going to make sure. I think that men should be intentional about that. They should be intentional about wanting to spend time with you, prioritizing making time to spend with you. And I'm not saying that a man mustn't be busy, guys. I'm a busy dude, right? And I like to be busy. Right? I like to be productive. I want to be seen to be doing something for the future of my family at all times, right? But I need to set that time aside where I'm going to say, okay, baby, let's do this together and let's do that together. And it must be intentional. So a lot of canceling sometimes feels like you haven't prioritized. That's,
And also the operative word being intentional, right? So I feel like if you are intentional, you will make sure that you also make it up to someone. Like if you're saying that if you have a busy schedule, you're a surgeon or a business person, or your job is just very unpredictable, then you will make time to prioritize that person.
Make the time.
And make it up to them, to say, babe, you know what? I realize that in the season it's been hectic. I've been busy. But, book a dinner,
For sure.
Book something, take them out, make them feel special and prioritize.
I love a saying. I just remembered a saying right now that I love, because I love quotes. There's a quote that says, I don't know if it's a quote that I read or if it's something that I say, but anyway. So I always say, nobody has time, but we make time for the things that are important to us.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
He blows hot and cold. So, the people, I feel like the people that blow hot and cold, it's also an insecurity as
100%.
well. Right? They blow hot, to keep you around. And once they've gotten what they need from you in that hot season and they are confident again, and then they blow cold. Right? And when they lose their confidence again or life happens to them, then they blow hot again because they know that you're going to massage their ego. You are going to play to their, what's the word? play to their ego,
Yeah,
right?
play
And
to their
and
ego,
make
yeah.
them feel good. And once you filled their cup, so those people are the people that will deplete you actually. They will deplete you because they come to you when their cup is empty, and when you're constantly filling their cup, but they're not cup fillers.
Yeah.
They just take.
Yeah, I did that in a relationship.
Really?
And I did.
Okay.
I did. I didn't know it at the time. Okay, I knew it at the time, but I didn't know why. And I later in my life discovered that I was insecure. It then came to me, and I was like, oh man, this person we had a relationship of convenience, where I knew that come hell or high water, she's gonna hold me down. But I wasn't in a position to fully commit to her. And so for as long as I knew that she was around to brush my ego, then I would go back. But then I knew that I wasn't ready to fully commit to her, so I would be hot and cold. I would, I was like 1 foot in, 1 foot out,
And
so,
sometimes I think, babe, men, like you're saying, men know what they want.
Yes.
Right? You probably not even fully committing to her, but you just knew that she wasn't your person. But she served a certain purpose in that season of your life.
You know what the funny thing is?
Yeah.
At the time I wanted her to be, I wanted to want for her to be my person, but I knew that she wasn't. And so I had this insecurity because I was like, what if I didn't find a you? You know what I mean?
So you wanted her to want you.
She wanted me.
Okay, and you wanted to keep her there.
Yes, I wanted to want her. I wanted her to be the person, right? But in my heart, I knew that she wasn't. But she ticked so many boxes, but my heart wasn't there. You know what I'm saying?
I get it.
So I was just like, so I definitely strung her along, and then as a result, when it got too hot, then I was like, no, we need to cool a little bit.
And I think, baby, what will also release a lot of, women or also men, right, is to understand that it's not about you. Like what you're saying right now had entirely everything to do with you and
100%.
not her.
Had nothing to do with her,
The fact that you were insecure.
There's nothing that she could have done. Nothing.
Right? But she was probably sitting there thinking, what is... Oh, sorry about that.
That's cool.
He's probably thinking, what is wrong with me?
Right.
What am I not doing?
Yeah.
What am I a lot? Am I not enough? Am I, so I think people should just release themselves knowing that they are enough in any circumstance.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah.
He breadcrumbs you.
Same thing.
So guys, breadcrumbing, let me explain breadcrumbing to people that might not understand. It's when a person doesn't really like you but still wants to have someone around for moments when they need company. And how they breadcrumb you, it's the same thing. So they'll leave like breadcrumbs, like little trails.
Hansel and Gretel.
Yeah.
This is the way back home.
Yes. So they'll text you,
Yeah.
they'll call you, and once you're hooked in that season, then they blow cold.
Yeah.
And then when they see you, this person is losing interest,
Yeah.
then they start
Yeah.
building the breadcrumbs again.
It's ego.
Yeah, it's ego.
It's ego. Again,
Yeah.
it's that thing where you have this need to be loved.
Yeah.
And you feel like what you have in your life is not enough. And it will never be enough because you don't love yourself. And so what you do then is you're constantly leaving people with a piece of yourself. You see, those breadcrumbs are a little piece of yourself, right? That you're kind of giving to potential partners and whatever, but you're never really gonna commit to them. You just love the idea that they are infatuated by you, right?
Sure.
And and I'm speaking from experience. It's this thing where now and it's self-love, guys. You're never gonna get it right if you don't learn to love yourself. And I love what you were saying earlier on, baby, because this has got nothing to do with you, ladies. This is work that a man has to do on himself. He has to go away and he has to find a way to love himself.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he's never going to be able to love you the way that you need to be loved. It's just the reality.
And I think, baby, if we understood that as human beings, because people are so complex, right? I think if we understood that 9 out of 10 times when people do what they do, it's got nothing to do with us. You know, you also find where in relationships where, you know, the partner has stepped out and people make it about themselves. They're like, what did I not do? Why did this person go outside? Why did they do 1, 2, and 3? But you touched on so many important points about ego, and ego comes from a lack of self-love and self-esteem, right? Especially when you constantly need people to feed that ego. It's because there's something eshotang inside. And we have a lot of grown men walking around that are broken.
Yeah.
You know, and we're not making an excuse for it.
Definitely
but
not.
I think understanding it
For
will
sure.
free you from thinking that there's something wrong with you.
Baby, it's more common than not.
Yeah.
I'm going to prove it to you. How often have you guys ever watched I Blew It?
That's my story.
How often do you find that men, and by the way, it's just because I Blew It is televised.
Yes.
But there's somebody in your life that you know that came into money.
And blew it.
And you know what? That is an indication of them trying to fill that void. So what do? Cars. Girls. Alcohol. Substance abuse. Partying. Flashing money. It's cool. Drinks on me. Guys, all of that has got one source. It's a lack of self-love. You don't feel like you're enough. And so what you're going to do is you're going to project that energy and you're going to say, okay, let me go out there and prove to everybody that I'm worthy to be loved. But it's only because you don't love yourself.
A lack of self-love and a lack of purpose. And you always speak about this and vision as well. You don't get his full attention. I think we've also spoken about this. I love this because there's a common thread with all these things, right? So I feel like you're saying, baby, and you said you'll make time for.
Oh, I said that none of us have time, but you'll make time for the things that are important to you.
Exactly. I think this one is self-explanatory. If someone doesn't give you their full attention, then there is a problem right there. Where their attention is divided and, you know, they're giving more time to, I mean, we're not saying that, we know that people are busy and outside busy. You know, you need someone who has who is not socially awkward, someone who's got friends, you know, someone who's close with their family. We're not saying that people shouldn't have those people around them, but because that's what makes us who we are. But if someone, when they are with you, they're always distracted, they're always on their phone, you visit them, they're on their phone with a friend for 2 hours, there is something wrong there. When you are with your person, I believe that they need to give you their full attention.
You give attention to the things that you prioritize.
Yeah.
And that's the reality. So if you don't have your partner's full attention, you're not a priority to them.
Yeah.
That's just the reality. And secondly, there is nothing that you can do to change their minds about your position in their life.
Yeah.
There is nothing that you can do, guys. It's I don't know how else to say this. Like giving somebody your full attention, whatever you give your full attention is the thing that you value.
Yes.
That's what you value in that moment. So if somebody is constantly busy with something else, it means that you are not enough.
Yes.
And you will never be enough, because for as long as they're with you, they feel like there's more
out there
than what is right in front of them. It's a red flag. Understand it. Rather talk about it.
Yeah.
Hey, babe, listen, we've got a little bit of is there something that you're chasing out there that you're not getting here? Let's talk about it. I'm not saying leave. I'm just saying talk about it. Put it on the table.
And what I love about what you're saying, baby, as you were talking, I was also reminded that actually full attention is not just, it doesn't only have to do with close proximity. Full attention also means when you're not with me, right? Are you sensitive to my needs? Are you cognizant of my needs? Are you thoughtful? Are you... Right?
Are you thinking about me?
Are you thinking about me? Not that, I mean, you must think about me the whole day and pine and whatever. But
I think about you the whole day.
Oh, really?
And pine.
I don't believe you. Oh, please.
I do.
Oh, please. When you're in studio.
Yes.
But, I'm just saying that, having someone's full attention just means you carry them in your heart.
For sure.
I believe.
For sure.
You haven't met each other's friends. So for me, I feel like that could be a red flag, but I sometimes feel like it means nothing. Guys, we know that sometimes boys are just they know where their loyalty lies. Like Lerato could bring me to meet his friends, and then next week at least a dinner, and it's like, oh, Rika fela. And you will never know. I've heard of people that are like, this man, I knew his friends, I knew his family. The next thing, the family is at Dineo's wedding.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm just like, yes, it could be a red flag, but I don't think that it's the be all and end all.
I think it's a nice thing if a guy introduces you to his friends and he kind of like lets you into his world.
Yeah.
I think that is like a stage in a relationship, that should be an indication of.
Is it a big thing for men?
It isn't for
I just never thought that.
It's a big
whether I know
thing.
your friends or not.
It's a big thing if a guy is always with his friends.
Okay.
So if he's like a friends person, and his friends are his family,
that's
like
fair.
It's like, and he's always talking about George, Sizwe, and Tebo, right? And it's like always, and they're always
That's
together,
fair.
and they right. Then, yeah, it's like how. But I'm the person in your life. So I think I don't think that it should be a prerequisite. But I think by the time you're kind of getting serious in your relationship and you guys are, for instance, not something that we endorse, but like if you're now moving in together and you don't know his friends, it's just like.
But what I've also heard, I don't know if it happens to people, but I've heard people saying that never introduce your partner to your friends very early on in their stage, because what if? Or maybe what if you're not sure about that person? Or what if, we've been dating for like two weeks and then I meet your friends and I'm like, wow, Sizwe, actually. Maybe Sizwe,
Well,
I'm with the wrong friend.
No, but then you were with the wrong person anyway. That for me is immaterial. Yeah, but I don't agree with it.
Or when people are just like, don't introduce your girl to your friends very early on.
I'm saying that's not a reason to not introduce, because then that wasn't your person from the beginning.
But another thing, baby, I've also heard that I've heard people who say there are people that share much later on in life because they're like, you also do that because you'll say, I have so much to figure out. I don't want people whispering in my ear.
Sure.
You might find that you really like this person, but your aunts. You're going to take them to your aunt's house and your aunt is going to be like, ooh, I wait last time.
Yeah.
Well, you're just not ready to have anyone discourage you about this thing and you want to keep it sacred.
Yeah, so that point of friends, I think it's...
Nah. Okay.
Yeah.
You don't really know anything about him. I think that's a problem. I find that if someone is keeping things very surfacey, there's a huge problem because vulnerability breeds intimacy. And if someone is not in a position to be vulnerable with you, I feel like it's a stumbling block in cultivating intimacy. Intimacy.
I would say it's problematic if everybody else in his life knows things about him and you don't.
Okay.
So if you're finding out from other people that, oh no, he does this, right? And you're like, what?
Like he likes
that's
this.
or he likes this or whatever, right? Then that's problematic because then he's shutting you out. It's very different if he's a closed person. That's part of his personality. And this could be because of past traumas. It could be because he doesn't want to be burned. He's not easily vulnerable generally in life. Not with you, just generally in life. He's a little bit of a closed book, little bit like, and we don't know why these things. But now, I think at some point, your partner needs to open up to you, right? Yeah, no, it can't be like a perpetual, this guy's just, he's just like that. Nobody knows anything about him. I think that might be, there needs to be somebody, especially his partner, that he feels safe enough to open up to. But yeah, I think this red flag has got context.
But now, my love, I think then in the early stages, right? How much time do you wait until someone opens up?
That's a good question.
Because you can't be hanging around with that's why we always say that, guys, we ignore the red flags. You can't just stick around with the hope that one day this person will open up.
That is a brilliant question, and I've got a
brilliant answer.
It's an answer. It's an answer. I don't know how brilliant it is.
About it.
No, because it goes back to us complicating things that we don't have to complicate.
Okay.
How much time is up to you?
Me?
Yes.
Or them?
No, up to you. You put a demand on your partner. If you're not putting a demand to say, listen, in a relationship, this is what I want, and then you're not getting it, but you didn't say that you wanted it. So say that, listen, in my relationship, the kind of relationship that I want to cultivate, I need somebody that's going to be able to open up. You set the timeline for yourself. If that person can't meet that, be out.
That. I really love that, baby. I love what you're saying about setting the time, the what did he say? The timeline for yourself.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times we stick around with the hope that someone will change.
Yeah.
And the person doesn't change. 5 years later, you get married, and then you're married to that person that showed you who they were in the first few weeks of your dating.
For sure.
So I really, really love what you're saying.
Yeah.
Oh, this one, booty calls. Your relationship is pretty much entirely based on sex. Guys, that's a huge red flag. Like, you're a weekend special, or you are a midnight call, you're a booty call. Obviously we personally don't endorse having sex before marriage. But I think that if you are in a relationship like that where it's just only based on sex, that is a huge red flag.
I think the other complication, once again, is that in 2022, this has become a norm. And so people don't know where to draw the line. The lines are so blurred now that you can't even recognize that you're a booty call.
Ooh.
You can't recognize it because...
Wait. So then what? So you think it's normal?
No.
We're just vibing?
No, I'm saying for some people it could be normal because those lines are so blurred now. You don't know the difference between being a girlfriend and being a booty call. Because in 2022, it's like, okay, you went from vibing. No, you went from being friends to being friends with benefits to vibing to dating to being in a relationship. Guys, this is complicated. Like, at what point do you when am I allowed to now make demands?
Yeah.
At what point, and which crosses which boundary? So I'm allowed to now say that I don't just want to be a booty call, but the guy's saying, yeah, but
that's how
why must anything change? Yeah. Because that was how our relationship came up. Do you understand what I'm saying? And this is why I'm saying, like, let's stop complicating these things, guys. You're either together or you're not. You're either cheating or you're not. We're either friends or we're not. Like,
and I think also that's so important. I love this point so much because, guys, and I'll take it back to the Bible and to kingdom principles.
Yeah.
When the Bible says, do not, fornicate, wait before marriage to obviously engage in sex and whatnot. I don't think it's because God just wants to ngisha us the nice things. God knows that these complications, he knew that these complications would arise. It's complicated. There would be that. But I think once you are married and you're not a booty call, right? But if you are having sex, before you're married, you just never know where you stand with that person. I mean, I've heard
because there's no commitment.
I've also heard some people saying that they stayed in a relationship too long because the sex was good. where they should have left a long time ago.
Yeah.
Like it was not serving them, but the
Clove.
was clothing.
Yes.
He says he's breaking up. This is the last point. He says he's breaking up with his partner, but it's complicated. So, guys, I feel like I've been in the trenches. So there was a guy in varsity that I really, really liked. And this person was breadcrumbing me, right? But his thing was that, no, I'm breaking up with my girlfriend. It's complicated. We're unhappy. It's not working out, whatever. Did this person not lead me on for 6 months? Me thinking, no, surely this is the day he breaks up with his girlfriend.
You know what's crazy to me? Is that literally every romantic movie, every story that you hear about Konka, every love, it will end in tears on Twitter. Guys, the script is exactly the same. With a married man, with a guy who's in a relationship, like it's exactly the same. And it just baffles me all the time where I'm like, wait, so this guy said what? Oh, so he's going through a divorce.
Baby, thanks. Same script, different cast.
And here's my thing.
Yeah.
Maybe, I feel like we said this on this channel before. Maybe interrogate a man's character.
Okay.
If he's going to be with you while in a situationship or while getting out of one, why would a man of good character not want to start on a clean slate with you so that there is no defiling of this relationship, that there's no like confusion and misstepping and so on and so forth? We shared our story and I said to you guys, as much as I was wrong, I broke it off. I didn't say to her, no, it's just, no, it's cool, just ride with me, while I'm trying to figure this situation out. No, end it. And can I ask you a question? What does ending things mean?
Ending?
Like what? Like why don't things end? Why are we ending? Like no. I'm ending.
I'm still ending it. It's been ending for the past 5 years.
Why are you not? Why doesn't it end?
And I think, baby, with people that are always ending things, they're not sure about you.
Yeah.
They are not sure that you are the person that they want to be with. That's why they want to have 1 foot in, 1 foot out. They want to have their cake and they want to eat it. So basically, they're just not ready to commit. And like you're saying, baby, same script, different cast. And it's a cycle.
Yeah.
It's a cycle. Then chances are they could go back to their partner, or chances are they could even break up with their partner and not even be with you because they're not even they're not ready to make a commitment to you.
And so last point, on making that commitment, you have to put that demand down, guys. Don't wait on your partner to be like, no, I'm ending things. Just wait. No. You say, listen, call me when things have ended. When you've ended things, let me know.
I love this.
Hurry, you're ending. It's complicated. No, it's fine. Go and be complicated. You'll call me when you're done.
Baby, you've said a few things about putting a demand on your partner, and I've been listening intently, right? Do you feel like as women, we don't put demands on our partners? We feel like it's out of our control, because we've been pursued and we're constantly just waiting for this man to sort of steer this relationship. We're waiting for them to propose. We're waiting for them to open up. We're waiting for them to commit. Do you feel like a lot of women are in a perpetual state of waiting?
Yeah. I do, and I feel like you don't need to be. Remember, guys, I always say that I speak from a place of privilege. I met my wife when I was 22. I married her when I was 24. I don't know what it feels like to be perpetually waiting, right? I can't make a judgment. You're 36 years old. You've got a beautiful 6-year-old child. you're living in an apartment and whatever, and you just want love. You see, context complicates things sometimes. I understand why sometimes you would
want it to be blurry.
Yeah, I understand why sometimes you would overlook red flags. Why? Because you so badly just want it to work. With somebody. You just so badly want somebody to choose you above everything else, and you're willing to kind of wait it out. And the pool is smaller now. It's complicated. I've got a kid. I don't. You know what I mean? It's complicated. I mean, I get it. All I'm trying to do is uncomplicate your world and say, listen, you are absolutely allowed to want what you want.
Yeah.
Like, give yourself permission to say, yeah, this is what I want.
And I think people always say, we always make fun of it, but it's probably so hard because people always say it's called we know your worth.
Yeah.
So I think you just have to know that it's going to get lonely.
Yeah.
When you get to a position where you know your worth, you know what you want, you have these demands, you have these timelines, it's going to get lonely, but I think it's worth it in the long run.
It's lonely at the top.
It's lonely at the top.
So stay at the top.
Stay at the top. Stay at the top.
Stay at the top. Because when you're at the top, it's only people that have got some gumsha that are going to approach you. Some balls. Some people that have got some character behind them. People that have got their story straight. People that know what they want. Before they step up to you, they're going to be like, yo, I better come correct. It's lonely there. But trust me, the suitors that do come, they're going to come correct. They're not going to play games.
As Mr. Max, I almost said Mr. Marx, because you guys are calling us the Marx. Now you're confusing me. As Mr. Max drops the mic, guys, this was another riveting installment of Here's a Thought with the Max. Remember
to like, subscribe, comment, share, turn on that notification bell to know every single time we upload a new installment. Thank you so much for watching the adverts.
Yeah, boy.
We appreciate you guys. Thanks for hanging out with us. Thank you for hanging out with me, my baby. Thank you for allowing me to also be vulnerable. And thank you for allowing me to be vulnerable as well, because I also put myself out there. I don't mind. Here's the thing, guys. I don't care. Hey? Me, I'll say it. I'll say, hey, guys, I was a rubbish once upon a time. You know what I mean? But the point is this. We need to be able. Yeah, we got to be able to tell the truth, man. Tell the truth.
And I think I want to, just say to the Dream Team and anyone who's probably watching us for the first time, guys, half these conversations, we're also having them when we have them with you.
For sure.
So this platform
this one we're having for the first time.
Yeah, this platform has really enriched our marriage in ways that we could never have imagined, because we are communicating now.
Yeah.
We are proper communicating. I think we've learned, and we are continuously learning the art and the skill of communication, and it's so beautiful.
You're beautiful.
You're
ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, one time, two real. Oh yes, peace and blessings, guys. You know what it is. We out.
Bye.